Write a book. People who do SCP like stories, do us a favor. Write a book. I would read your book. I'd read it so hard. You don't understand.
I never got into creepypasta, but I imagine it's more of the same.
Oh yeah, it's more of the same, but to a lesser degree. I think SCP has. I think SCP
Better
has a little bit higher standards.
Don't travel, no.
Oh, there we go.
I want to pick up the mission over here. Then we can travel.
What was I gonna say?
SCP has better like mods or something. Screening process. I don't know.
Have you ever? Well, you don't read creepypasta, but if you want a depressing one and also a terrifying one, read Pen Pal.
Pen Pal. It's a website or a specific story?
It's a specific story. It's chapters long. It's been made into a book. I own the book.
Oh.
The book has been refined a little bit because they got, an editor to go in there and clean it up a little.
Okay.
But the original one is fine and it's free. You can just read it online. And it's heartbreaking, terrifying. It's so many different things.
You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll kiss $3 goodbye.
Yeah, like you'll have moments where you're like, oh, and then you'll have moments where you're like, oh my god. It's real messed up. The ending is pretty messed up, but it's good. It's a really good story.
Interesting.
And I very highly don't think that it's real, even though the person purports it to be real. Because it's not really paranormal. So that ought to give you a clue. But it's very good.
Right. That pen pal was me from the future past.
Something like that. But
well,
like
it's funny. Did you ever watch the anime Steins Gate?
No, I haven't actually.
It's all about time travel, and it's really funny because before watching the anime, I'd been listening to Coast to Coast, and the anime mentions he's kind of a prominent thing they talk about is John Teeter.
Oh, I love that. I love that story.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I love
cool.
that whole thing. It's interesting. I'm surprised.
Famous time traveler for the listener who might not know who John Teeter is. Google him though; he's cool.
Yeah, Google him, and it'll be interesting.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, you'll find it's a rabbit hole kind of situation.
Yeah, I don't think he's a time traveler, but
no, but it does make make
fun.
you think about it. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. Did you hear about that party that Stephen Hawking threw for time travelers?
Oh yeah.
Nobody showed up. So sad.
Showed up.
How do I get up there? I remember having this problem before too.
Wait, where are we going?
I'm trying to get up there to pick up a lump of eyeball flesh. I don't remember. Is there a door? An elevator? A ladder?
Oh, I'm falling. Oh no, goodbye, friends.
Is there like a fan I can jump off of?
Oh god, they're after me.
Can I run around? I'm trying to run around on the side over here.
I like how he's like, Hyperion Merc spotted. It's like, I don't see you. I'm trying to think of okay, so I'm not really a purveyor of 4chan.
I'm not at all.
I like to read their paranormal board.
Okay.
Because if you weed through trolls and the same questions over and over again, every now and then you get a story that is insane or really well told or compelling, just something about it. And there was this guy who called himself the main taxi guy. And of some of you who do 4chan, or at least X on 4chan, will know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows the main taxi guy.
Everybody.
And his stories were purportedly true. Of course, I don't think so. But they were super entertaining. We're talking skinwalkers. We're talking...
I love skinwalkers.
I do too. Oh.
You should the Dresden Files. Dresden Files are like this, but not scary, really. Just cool.
I remember the Dresden Files. I remember the TV show.
I've never seen the TV show.
I watched it as a kid. You're seeing a theme here.
Listen to the audiobook. James Marsters reads them. He's Spike from Buffy.
Oh, ooh.
Very sexy.
I will. Yes, I love.
So yes, a specific story from, or what kind of story from 4chan?
Main taxi guy or just in general? Like one of
Oh,
my
I thought
favorites.
I was trying to pick up your story. Main taxi guy. What was his story?
So one of his stories was, and they're very plain, but like they get you thinking, is that of course, he's a taxi guy, so he gets called out to go pick up some guys to take him out to a reservation. And so he goes, he takes these guys. They are super wary of the quote unquote white man. So they ask him to stay and not leave so that he's not going back and forth through the village. And so he stays in the cabin there with them, and they treat him well. He's got a TV. I mean, he's got a radio, he's got beer, he's got food. So he's like, hey, this is pretty good. I'll stay the weekend. I'll have a good time. Well, as they're going in, they pass this logging situation that's going on, and they've been kind of invading that area and, you know, doing a lot of poaching and as far as like logging where they're not supposed to.
Okay.
And so the natives there, they want him out. So they tell him, no matter what you hear, no matter what happens, you stay in the cabin. And he's like, okay. And there's like a series of events where he's got like a guy who's standing guard at his door that his eyes are white, you know, and he doesn't talk to him. He just kind of threateningly keeps him there. And he hears a lot of noises, a lot of smells. And then when they pass back at the end of the weekend, the entire logging area is destroyed.
Ooh.
And nobody is found. And nobody says anything to him about it, but they all just kind of know that they did it, that some of them there were skinwalkers.
Ah, of course.
Kind of thing is insinuated. Yeah. And it's like subtly, you know, scary, like, oh shit, you know.
That's pretty cool.
So and if you look him up on, you don't even have to go to 4chan because 4chan goes by so quickly that it won't be there anymore. But you can look up main taxi guy, and there will be like.
Launch myself. Nope, that just killed me.
Goodbye, friend.
Pick me up.
Oh, you
I
also
killed us both.
me.
That was me. I was trying to launch myself. Well, we're both dead.
Oh, we could have grenade jumped.
Could we? I
Didn't
don't think
realize
you can
that.
do that in this game.
Well, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Can you do that in this game? I think you
There's gotta be
can.
something we're missing. I've done this mission before. I just don't remember where the thing is.
I don't remember it either. There's another one he has that's called I think it's called the Ghost. It's like the Ghost Parade or something like that. And he drops this old lady off from grocery shopping. She lives out in a rural area. And of course, they have a policy about going into clients' homes. They don't. But so he takes all her stuff down and puts it by the door. And, you know, he asks her, do you need anything else? Well, she's a little bitty old lady, so he feels sorry for her. So he kind of helps her with it. And then when he turns around to go back to his car, he kind of catches a glimpse on her face of like something's wrong. And they look out, and there's just mist, this fog rolling in. And it's just people walking. Just crowds and crowds of, you know, ghostly people walking. And so he freaks out, right? He's like, oh God. So he like goes inside, and they just sit there staring out the window, watching all these people roam by. And it's carts, it's wagons, it's all kinds of stuff. And then it's gone just as quickly as it came. So he's like, okay, I'm dipping out. You know, you're going to be all right kind of thing. And that was like another one of those like real subtle ones that, you know, oh shit. Well,
yeah, it almost worked. At least it moved you.
It moved me. I never could get the hang of grenade jumping. I never could do it. But like,
there's a bunch of good stories about, or anecdotes from the haunted house at Disneyland.
Oh yeah, I've heard. I've seen some videos and stuff of like security footage and stuff that's supposedly interesting.
I remember hearing a really good horror story about Disneyland, Florida, where this guy, he was a construction worker, and so he came in at night, you know, when the park was closed, to work on some stuff with his crew, and they were doing like a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs thing, so they were like working in like a cave essentially, a fake cave, and so they had these lights on, but the rest of the park was not lit at all. And so one day he's taking his lunch break, and he decides to like walk somewhere. I can't remember why. And he like sits down behind this fake tree or whatever, and he's eating his dinner lunch. And he hears or sees, he observes like 3 or 4 men in suits and a woman dressed as a Disney princess, and she's clearly like unconscious, probably drugged, and they like I think they like cut her wrists or something. They sacrifice her, and they like intone this thing implying that they're, you know, basically trying to they've been doing this for a long time and they have to keep doing it because there's a, you know, an Indian curse on the land kind of thing. And so the guy, like, you know, he stays silent, and when they go, he gets back to his work environment and he tells his boss, and well, the boss asks him because, you know, his eyes are like, you know, super white. He's like, "What's going on?" And he tells him, and the boss is like, "Yeah, that if I told you all the crazy things exactly like that I've seen in this job, then, you know, your hair would be even more gray," kind of thing.
Holy crap!
All the dirty, yeah.
All the nitty gritty. Holy moly! I have something similar to that with the with park rangers. It was a recent thing too that was on Reddit, and it was this guy like purportedly was a park ranger, and he was like telling about all the weird stuff that he'd had happen to him, and he was like, you know, "I can't tell you my name. I can't tell you where I work."
Of course.
Like one of the big parks, you know, everybody knows this park. And like one of the weird occurrences was that like there would be stairwells or staircases in the forest out in the middle of nowhere.
That's cool.
And it starts off really good, and I won't ruin it for you. Just like if you want to read it, it's pretty long. There's
probably won't.
Well, there's a guy that reads it out to you. It's like a 2-hour-long video.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be interesting.
I should do that. I should go out and read a bunch of these, make mini audiobooks. That'd be really fun.
Oh, you've got a good voice for it. You absolutely should. I would listen.
It would take a couple tries though. It wouldn't like because ideally I just read it once and that's the job done. But you gotta get inflection, you know, especially for like a horror where everything's all atmosphere.
Oh yeah, and you can, and there's so much good royalty-free music that you could kind of like throw in
totally.
there. Oh, dude, yes, do this.
That'd be fun. What site or what story? where would I get?
So
this wasn't creepypasta. This was a what kind of a thing? A 4chan story?
This is on Reddit. So if you look it up online,
okay.
and you
creepy.
look, I think it's either on Creepy or it's on
Our creepy's so dumb now.
Yeah, I think it might be on No Sleep.
Oh, sorry, our No Sleep's I'm thinking of the default one.
But just look up Park Ranger.
Okay.
Park Ranger Reddit, and it'll. I'm pretty certain it'll come up right away. If not, I can link you. Don't worry about it. I got you, fam. But like,
I'm close
it
to
is.
giving up.
I know. I don't understand how to get up here, and I'm. Wait. No, I don't think.
Can you jump on my head?
I think you're too tall.
I think so
Probably
too.
Jump on mine. Yeah,
Okay.
you're way too tall.
Oh, I bounce, right. It bounces me until I fall off your head. So I can't jump on your head and then jump off.
Oh, boo. Let's see if I can get up here. But yeah, it's interesting and it's intriguing, and it kind of falls in line with the same, like the thing that I was telling you about David Paulides, and it's kind of falls in line with that, and it's interesting and it's very cool, and it's very scary because I don't go out in the woods, so, and I don't, and I will not now after this, I can promise you.
Did you ever see a horror movie? I think it was called Sasquatch.
No, I've
It's
never
about-
seen that.
It's got like the way the Sasquatch costume is actually really well done. Like I don't remember the movie that well, but I remember the scene. So basically, it's like kind of like a cul-de-sac of cabins, like out in the middle of nowhere in the woods. And so I just remember this scene of this guy with binoculars looking across the cul-de-sac to the house across the way, and you just see like you can see through the windows, but the house is mostly dark, and you see this girl. Like on the second story, and she's panicked because like at this point everyone knows the Sasquatch is like in the house, and then just like this hand just comes up through the floor and like pulls her down into the ground floor, and so it's all like binocular cam, so when he looks down all you can see is like the back of the Sasquatch, and like it's like clearly like ripping things apart. Like it's just like it's very it's pretty cheesy, but it had some really cool parts in it too. The way the movie ends is this guy crashes his car into a tree. You know, he crashes his car like killing the Sasquatch, and he just like looks up into the woods, and it's all the Sasquatch eyes are there, and then the movie ends.
Have you ever heard like supposed recordings of like the Yowie or like the Sasquatch? That like there's one, I guess it's in southern US, and like they call it the Yowie because it makes like a loud like,
you know, I think I might have.
It's terrifying. I watched
Sorry, I tried to wait for you.
Oh no, you're good. I watched a TV show. Now it was a real cheesy show. It was goofy. But they played back some of that stuff, and I was like, if I heard that out in the middle of the woods, I would poo myself. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I remember hearing a story like that, and they actually found the thing that was making the noise. Like it's like he's like, when I first heard it, you know, it was like a human scream combined with a cat yell kind of thing. Like, you know, you just couldn't. It's just so unnatural. Raises all of your hairs up. Turned out it was a llama.
Oh wow!
So this llama had been left out there by its owners because it was a reason to walk. They were like hikers. They tied it to a tree and they came back for it later.
That's awful. Poor thing.
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird things.
I grew up in a rural area, so coyotes, I know them. I know a lot of city folk who, I remember I had a friend who came out to stay with me one time, and she'd never heard coyotes before, and they are awful. I mean, if you've never heard them, they are terrible. And she looked at me, and her face was, I mean, pale. She's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "They're coyotes." She's like, "No, those sound like the souls of the damned. Like they do sound bad. I mean, they cackle, they laugh, they scream, they make all kinds of noises. They don't bother me. I'm used to them. I mean, we had like pretty thick, not woods, but you know, wooded areas behind us. And yeah, growing up out in the rural area like that, you'll hear things like, I remember one time I heard something awful, and I couldn't pinpoint what it was. I'd never heard it before. Well, our neighbors, you know, a couple acres away had just gotten some cows, and I'd never heard cows before. And they make some terrible noises too in the middle of the night.
I don't think I've heard any of those.
Yeah, it's.
I have been scared by cows before though, because I was hiking, and as I was going back, I knew where I was. I knew where I was trying to go, but I didn't know exactly where I was, like where it was beneath my feet, because I'd climbed some fences to take a shortcut. And there was cows moving around me in the dark, and it was really scary because I didn't want to get like crushed at the very least, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, when you least expect it, they kind of move around, and you're just like, oh god, no. Well, my grandfather also, he had a ranch right next to us, and he.
Do you have a white common weapon? We just need one more.
I'm pretty sure I do. I'm trying to kill this sugar rat though. I'll be right there. He used to have a pig farm, and pigs will make terrible noises too. Especially those big old fat pigs.
Pigs make some really creepy sounds. A rosy new dawn.
Why can I not donate anything? I've
not been. It has to be
been
white common quality.
Oh, let me see. Do I have anything? Oh, I do. I gotta take it out though. I haven't clipped for some reason. Let's do that. No, it still won't let me. But I have clearly here. I'll give it to you.
So you put it. Okay.
Wait, is it white? Oh, it's not. It's blue. Don't ask me how I got distracted with that.
Oh, quick! Okay. To date this episode, they just announced the new starting 3 Pokemon. Which one's your favorite?
I'm kind of digging that owl.
I go back and forth on the owl. I definitely do not like the stupid seal. I do like the angry cat.
There's a white weapon. I like the cat. I'm going between the cat and the owl. I'm torn.
The owl, I don't know. I like the idea of a grass flying. That seems really cool. And I like the leaf bow tie. But it looks a little silly when it moves sometimes. I'll have to see their evolutions.
That's another thing, isn't it? It's like,
I also don't usually like my main Pokemon to be like grass or flying, because I usually want like my grass thing to learn cut, my flying thing to learn fly. It's like I don't want to teach that to my main Pokemon.
Here we go. Yeah, and I'm hoping the kitten continues to be adorable.
Hope it continues to be angry and emo.
Yeah, like I want it to be cool.
Yeah.
But I am digging the cover Pokemon, the bat.
I really like the cat thing, the lion. I haven't decided yet on the bat thing.
I kind of dig it because it reminds me of Cresselia.
Which one's that?
Cresselia is like it's another moon type Pokemon. It's like a crescent.
I have seen that one. I think wait, which one is it from? Because I think I had the other Pokemon game that had Soul instead of that one.
Cresselia? Oh, I don't remember. There are Pokemon fans right now that are very angry at me.
I don't remember.
But it's very old. It's very old. I know that. But probably Diamond and Pearl, if I had to guess. Off the top of my head. Don't kill me, please. I'm not a Pokemon fanatic. I like Pokemon, but I don't know much.
I haven't finished the last 2 Pokemon games I played.
I have not either.
I need to do that. At a certain point, it just gets really grindy feeling.
It does, and it's like, I don't know. For the reason why I gave up, which is a dumb reason. No, it's not a dumb reason, because the whole point is to collect them. And I was like, man, I'll never be able to collect the old Pokemon. I don't have those games. But now they're getting them to where they're bringing them back in newer games. Right. So now it's possible.
I remember I played one of the more recent ones, like Diamond, or I think it was Diamond, and it had a Jinx in it. I remember catching a Jinx and being like, oh, this is awesome, because I remember having a memory of playing like Pokemon Yellow or something and trying to get a Jinx and failing. So it was cool to finally get a Jinx.
That's awesome.
Or Mr. Mime, one of the two. I don't remember which one.
Oh, that's a nice story though. Like that's like finally.
Yeah. Childhood mission fulfilled. Duty fulfilled.
Beautiful. Finally, a lifelong mission. Come to
You're mocking me, aren't you?
No. Honestly, because it's like, dude. It's like when I finally beat like Final Fantasy Tactics, because when I was young I didn't get it. Like, I just didn't get it, and then I finally beat it and I was like, oh my god. I've been waiting for this ever since, like, for years. It's funny how I can't.
Cool new mask. I'm gonna wear it. It's a little silly, but I'm gonna wear it anyway.
No, wear it. Put it on.
Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my most played. Like, I think it's the first game where I played over 100 hours of it. I had like.
Such a good game.
I remember hearing that if you did all 300 quests, then Sid, the judge, would join your team. But I'd missed a couple, because a couple of them, I guess, you can't do after you hit certain story points. And so I had like 298 of the 300 stories done. Quests. It's like, no.
Oh, that sucks. I don't know. It's funny how I came across like Final Fantasy in general. Like I used to back in the day before I had a PlayStation and I had a memory card and a controller, but I didn't have any games. And so my parents, you know, doing the best that they could, they would let me rent a game and they'd let me keep it for a week, which is silly because I could have just bought the game for way cheaper, but that's what my parents thought would work. So I was never bored. I always had games to play. And like I remember the first time I picked up a Final Fantasy, and it was Final Fantasy VIII. Yes, cue the groan. I know. And I brought it home because I thought it looked cool. I'd never played an RPG before in my life. And I remember being so frustrated and not understanding what the hell is going on in this game. But I couldn't put it down. It was so compelling, even though I had no idea what was happening. And I finished that game. It only took me a couple of days to beat it. And then I played Final Fantasy VII. And then at that point, my parents, I guess, were doing better financially. So they bought both of them for me. And then nice. I played... have you ever heard heard of a PlayStation 1 game called Cardia?
No.
Not. Oh, man, I've asked so many people and they always tell me no. It's
Should I
like
port us?
Final. What's that?
Should I port us, or are you going to be in the menu?
Oh, you can port us. I'm just
Okay.
running around collecting stuff.
Cool.
It's so it's like Final Fantasy Tactics. It plays the same way. Well, there's a few differences, but it's turn-based tactical.
Mm-hmm.
And the art is done by Yoshitaka Amano, so it looks like a Final Fantasy game, an old Final Fantasy game. And it's pretty good. It's hard. It's a really rough game. It's like a rough version of Tactics, but it's good. And everybody I've asked people from here, there, everywhere, if they've ever heard of it, and nobody has. And I'm beginning to wonder if maybe I dreamt it up. But no, it's real because I was able to secure a copy. So I'm like, oh. I remember going to.
I should go back and beat the Game Boy Color game. I should go back and beat before the internal battery dies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's sad, right?
I never finished it as a kid. I started over from the beginning.
Should rip a ROM of it. Keep on your
computer.
Yeah,
I could just do that. It's probably a little better. It's called Lufia, The Legend Returns, I think. It definitely had a lot of systems in it. So it's like a JRPG, but instead of having like a line of 4 guys, you have a 3x3 grid, and like things add up lengthwise and widthwise, and like that affects like power, like if you land the elementals the right way. It's so many systems involved in it, and then like
difficult.
Like dungeons, like so it's like a regular top-down game, but then a dungeon, like basically monsters don't move unless you move. So if I take a step forward, the monster will take its step. Some monsters like try to home in on you, some monsters just kind of wander around. And so like let's say I take a step forward, and the monster takes a step forward, and the monster's in front of me, then we fight like normal. But like if I take a step forward and the monster does a thing and ends up behind me, then my grid's flipped backwards and attacks me in the back, so the alignment's all wrong. Like it was so confusing, but really, really good. It's kind of those games that's hard because it's old. Like it would do things like it would have boss fights you're supposed to lose. You could beat the boss, but you're supposed to lose the boss fight. Because I remember it took a long time to figure out. It's the first time I'd seen that sort of thing.
Like a scripted fight.
Yeah, because for some reason I was in the habit of, if I ever lost a fight, if I ever died, I shut off the Game Boy and started again. Just to, cut to the menu faster. And so I'd do that, and I never found out until, it took me a long time to figure out that the game continued. It was not a game over screen if you died to this boss.
Yeah, but wouldn't it have been awesome if you'd beaten it and you'd been like, whoa!
That's true. You get like a really good shield or something.
Yeah, you get like something really unique for it. When I was like working and I had a pretty good like income and stuff, there's a shop here in town that sells old games, and the PS2 will forever be my favorite system. I don't know why, it just is. And there wasn't anything particular that I remember about it being so good. Maybe Metal Gear Solid 3. But it's just my favorite system, so I would always peruse the PS2 section, and I came across a set of games called they're the Atelier games. They start with Atelier Iris in the US, and they're like a mix of RPG and crafting. So you craft in battle. You can make elements in battle to use as magic, or you can save the elements and use them to make items and weapons and stuff like that. But in order to progress through the story, you also have to level up. It's like you're an alchemist, so you have to level up your alchemy and stuff like that. It's very grindy, it's very Japanese, but it's really fun, and I love it. I don't know how the modern Atelier games stand up to it. I've purchased a couple of them for the PS3, and then I never played them, so I guess there's my answer.
My favorite Tactics game, I put it on the Game Boy Advance, is called Tactics Ogre, The Knight of Lotus. And it had permadeath, and it had this really interesting system where if a character was on low HP, an enemy character was at low HP, and you had a character adjacent to them, you could try to persuade them to join your team. And there are all sorts of factors that could influence the persuasion. And then it had a achievement system, which was tied to the class system. So the class system was hidden. Like, you didn't know what it took. Oh, crap. We got 5 minutes.
Oh, we gotta go.
But like if I persuaded enough people as a female and they were men, then I could unlock like the sorceress class, and like there's all these weird systems to it. Like if I killed enough dragons, I could unlock the dragon slayer class. But it was really, really cool, have all stuff like that. And it had some really cool missions to it. Like let's say you're assaulting a castle. So like you can choose like your 8 party members to assault the castle with, and then so you take over the front gate, and then you decide in the story that it's best to split up. Like we're gonna have half our team going through the kitchen. That guy just sniped me in 1 hit. And we're gonna have half our team go in through the gardens or whatever. And so you, like whatever team members you chose to attack one place couldn't be picked for your team for the second place.
Oh snap!
Yeah, and if you and there's a little like Fire Emblem where if you chose the right people, then they would like trigger story elements like, oh my gosh, my old pupil is defending the garden, so I can have like a little dialogue about that. Like it was crazy. There's so much hidden stuff and replayability to it.
Why don't see games like that never get popular? And it's just like they're so good though. Why?
I wonder if part of the problem might be the internet removes a lot of that mystery and discovery.
I think so. Because like I remember buying a game not knowing what it contained, and then just like oh, this is awesome, you know, or you know, that's how I was with Parasite Eve.